Hi, this is Karen. Welcome to my channel. Are you new to raising worms for your garden, or do you want to try something new? Well, I've been raising worms for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now, and I want to try something new. I already have a hungry bin and a worm garden and a regular garden with worms in it, and I want to try something new. So let's get to it. Oh, by the way, if you like what you see and you want to learn more about what we do here on the channel, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have, I thank you for being a subscriber. And when you subscribe, you will be notified of when I put up a new video, or who knows, I may even go live, so you get that notification. And also ring the notification bell so you get everything of what we do here. So with that, let's keep going. I wanted to share with you something different today. This is a site that I subscribe to, a channel, YouTube channel called Worm Ohana. They're in Oahu, Hawaii, and it's headed up by this woman named Mindy. And basically in this one, she's in charge of a school that does vermicomposting and other recycling types of things. And she's also gotten the community involved in this. And I'd like to get involved with this with you online and see if you want to do this with me. They've got right here how to do a worm bin. If you go to this site, subscribe to it, and it's quite a while ago that they started this, but we can do it here in our own homes, in our own communities. In the worm kit, well, they've got, if you're watching the video here, she has a page, or they have a page, goes to wormohana.org, and there's a link on that page, and you can set up the box bin. Anyway, so first you get your bin. Like I mentioned, you can get it from Walmart. And then she says to poke holes. And if you watch the video, she calls holes pukas. Puka means hole in Hawaiian. So whenever she says the word puka, that's what she means. It's holes. HOLES. Okay, she says put pukas in the top and pukas in the bottom. I personally just put pukas in the bottom because I don't need pukas at the top. I'm not going to use the cover. And then just put it in a shady area outside, and then get a couple of bricks to elevate it. And so that there's always air underneath the bin and it drains freely. Anyway, so with her type of bin, I'm going to call it the Ohana worm bin. Ohana in Hawaiian means family. So we're all family. We're all family here. That's how I feel about my worm community here. We're all friends here, though we don't all live next to each other. I feel like you're all my ohana. So with this particular way of growing worms and basically using all of your food scraps, that's what she focuses on, mainly the food scraps, getting rid of those really quickly. You'll be flushing this every day, so that's why it's elevated. However, on mine, I put it up extra high on some bricks and put another small bus bin underneath it. This particular bus bin is 5 inches tall. And because we're in a drought here in Las Vegas, I want to be able to reuse the water that drains out. Now, if you're in an area where, you can, like the picture shows here, she has it on top of some dirt, or if you have grass or wherever you want to put it, or another part of your garden that's in the shade, then go to it, But here in Las Vegas, we're in a drought, so I want to try and conserve as much water as we can. So that's the location. And the next thing is your bedding. In the video, they use bedding for hamsters or guinea pigs, stuff like that they give to the people there in Oahu that come to the school and pick up their kit. But here in the picture, she just shows cardboard that they've hand shredded. And I have lots of shredded paper and cardboard, so that's what I'm going to be using as my bedding. And it says 4 to 6 inches of moist bedding. So, yeah. And in here it says you can use coconut coir, pine shavings, egg cartons, cardboard, anything. As you know, the bedding will also be consumed by the worms. Next thing is worms. In Hawaii, they're given the worms, but you'll have to purchase worms, or if you already have existing worm bins, just use some worms that you already have. In Hawaii, in their program, they started them off with a 1/4 pound, which is approximately 250 worms. I started with between 6 and 8 ounces of worms, which is almost 1/2 pound of worms, so twice as many. So you can start with as many as you want. Just take notes of how much you are starting with. At the end of 3 months, I'm going to be harvesting this bin, seeing how many worms have increased. And her program, Mindy's program, they wait till 6 months because they started with a quarter pound of worms. So, you can do whatever you want. Food waste. You'll need your own food waste, obviously. She suggests you chop the pieces small, keep them frozen or refrigerated until you feed the worms, which is once a week, and weigh your food waste. The kit that they give the people in Hawaii in their program, it includes a scale. You can, weigh yours, put it down. I started with 3 pounds, 13 ounces was their first feeding. Anyway, so you can do that. And then on top of the food, she uses shredded paper, shredded newspaper. Apparently they get a throwaway newspaper, and she shows you how to hand shred it and fluff it up. So watch that on her videos. I am just, again, what I use for the bedding, which is shredded cardboard and paper. I haven't looked into it yet. The first week hasn't passed yet, so I don't know if it's easy to, pick it up and look underneath it, but we'll see. She doesn't do the layering in when she feeds again, or consequent feedings after the first feeding. She lifts the shredded paper on the top and kind of looks underneath there this once a week, because when she feeds them, checks out the area where she fed to see if the food is goopy and if there's any worms in it, just to check them out. And then she'll feed one side of the bin one week and then another side of the bin the following week, and then she'll go back to the first one on the third week, just back and forth feeding every other week. On the video, she'll show you how to feed them. And then last of all, there's a bin blanket, which you'll have to provide for yourself. But in Hawaii, and I've made mine myself, it's a shade cloth. It's 4 layers thick. So if you want to do that, or if you have something else that you want to use, but I've gone ahead and done the 4 layers of shade cloth. All it is you kind of use the outline of your tub on the inside and cut the shade cloth to that size, and then just staple the 4 layers together, and that's it. And then every time you water, you just don't have to lift the shade cloth, you just water right on top. And that's it. That's all the steps that's to this easy thing. So I thought I'd try it. I'm thinking, well, we don't have the same exact temperatures and weather as Hawaii, but hey, why not try it and see what happens? So I hope you'll join along with me in this. Let me know if you do, and put up some videos, and we'll just call this the Ohana Worm Bin. Okay, and just use whatever worms that you want. In mine, I'm using red worms, red wigglers, Icenia fetida, but you can use European night crawlers. You can use a mix. In Hawaii, they have a mix of red wigglers and blue worms. Any compost worm that you feel comfortable with, you can eat. If you do what I do and use a container to water or container to catch the water underneath the bin. You can certainly put your Ohana worm bin inside your home, like if you have a garage or something. If it gets too cold in the garage, cover it with a blanket or tarp or something, but also use the catch bucket underneath. And there you go. Real simple. I'll do follow-up videos once a week so you can see how this bin is doing. At the end of 3 months, I will go ahead and harvest it and go from there. See how hard it is to get any castings or separate the castings from the worms, things like that. Because normally I keep my bins a lot drier. I don't do this, soaking water go through. But we'll go from there. Okay, I'm ready to give them their first feeding here. Let me take this off. This is the cover that I made. That's 4 times the thickness. Sheet cloth, I mean. And it's been wet. It's been soaking. This has been soaking for the past couple days. These are worms that I've had in my grow out bin for red wigglers inside. I don't know, they've been growing. And I'm just going to toss them all in this bin here. Let's see, when I first weighed them, let's see here. I don't know if you can see that, 6 ounces. And I was supposed to harvest them on August 29, but now it's October 3rd. So they have, grown, obviously, hopefully, more than 6 ounces. Hopefully there's at least 7 ounces of worms in here. And then I know there's some eggs in here already. I'm just going to toss the whole thing in here. Let me go ahead and do that here. Let's get them all out. There's some left in the tub. Get some of the babies out of here. Okay, and let me go ahead and smooth them out here. I had some newspaper on them. I'll just put them back on. I'm sure they'll go through them quickly. And I've got their food here. See if I can open this up. Weighs about a little bit more than 3 pounds. I'm going to put them right here on this side of the bin, and I'll do this side next week. So here we go. It's been frozen. There's apples and bananas, avocado, some oranges, or let me break this up a little bit. I bet I don't need to break it up that much. Now, on worm ohana, they didn't put any grit in here, so I'm not putting any grit on the food. They just put the food in there. I think they started with 3 to 5 pounds of food. So mine's a little bit more than 3 pounds. They started with a 1/4 pound of worms. Mine was 6 to 7 ounces, almost half a pound of worms. And she covered it with newspapers, but we don't get newspapers at the house. So I'm just going to put shredded boxes, shredded paper on top, and hopefully that'll be okay. Let me see how much I'm going to put on here. Just to cover. Now this whole bag had about 5 gallons, but I'm not going to put that much. But I do need to cover, make sure that this side is covered at least. And that should be it. And then I think all she did was just water. So I'm not going to, I'm just going to put this cover on. And since I've been catching the water down below, you know, I got to conserve water here. We're in a drought. Then I'm just going to use the water from below and rewater. And that should be it. Continue catching the water. And I will go ahead and continue watering this every day. And I'll check it next week and bring you with me. So that's about it for this one. You can hear it draining. Hopefully I won't have a bunch of gnats, but you know, it's outside, I don't care. I hope you'll join me in this Ohana worm bin, and we can do this together. At the very least, check out the Worm Ohana YouTube channel and see all the great things that they have on this site. If you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, and feel free to click the notifications bell so you'll know when I put up a new video. So thank you for coming on this journey with me, and I'll see you on the next video.